You don't need to eliminate all your debt. You can find a ratio number that you're more comfortable with if 50% feels like too much for you. But for sure, don't wait to start on your savings until your debt is down to zero. The home prices aren't waiting for you. Welcome to the show, homies. So far this year, the podcast has been jam-packed with first-time homebuyer knowledge nuggets. We've had current market updates on inventory, home prices, and interest rates. We've had some incredibly insightful interviews with random people all over the world of real estate. And of course, the always inspirational homie success stories filled with motivation and practical tips that you can use on your journey. Don't forget the podcast catalog way back there. That's got everything you're ever gonna need to do this thing right. But for today, I wanted to get you some immediate action steps. Research is great. Going down the rabbit hole to get all the pieces of information, make you feel confident, that's good. But passive learning can stunt your growth. Time for action. Hit it.
How to Buy a Home educates, protects, and connects first-time homebuyers to qualified vetted realtors in their area. Whether you're looking for DIY information or step-by-step guidance, How to Buy a Home is the #1 resource for first-time homebuyers.
What is up, my homies? It's action time. 10 steps that you can do right now. LFG. Number 1, leverage technology. I've been doing this for a long time, but let me tell you something. ChatGPT and the other AI tools, they're great for you. Why does that matter? Navigating the home buying process involves a ton of information, and utilizing AI tools like ChatGPT, it can provide quick answers and guidance, making this journey less overwhelming and less daunting. Okay, how do you do it? Well, you ask questions. You can use AI, ChatGPT, whatever you want to understand real estate terminology, to get insights on market trends, or to clarify doubts about the entire home buying process. And if you want all that stuff in layman's terms, way back in the catalog of the podcast, I did 20-something episodes called Real Estate Terms and Definitions A to Z. It starts way back in episode 94. It's a game changer if you want to really feel like you actually comprehend all the jargon that goes on in this process. And the second bullet for how to do this, well, it's researching neighborhoods. AI is actually really good at gathering information about potential areas. You don't have to go look at a million different websites. You just get deep into the prompts with your AI and ask questions. You can ask about amenities, schools, safety, what's going on in the community, any of that stuff, and you'll be able to get that given directly to you. And the action step. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the topic, and we're going to discuss why it matters, how to do it, and the action step. So here's your action step for number 1, leveraging AI. I actually asked ChatGPT to give me an action step. I fed in what I just said to you, and I said, hey, give me an action step for this one. And this is what ChatGPT said to me. Start incorporating AI tools into your research routine. Remember, while they offer valuable information, always cross-reference with professionals for critical decisions. Even ChatGPT realizes that it gets all its information from the interwebs. And most of the information you find there is someone trying to sell you something. So always cross-reference the information you find on the internet with your trusted professional for critical decisions. ChatGPT said that, not me. So make sure you've got someone that you trust. Number 2, build your credit report with rent payments. Why does that matter? Well, a strong credit score, obviously, that's crucial for securing the best mortgage rates, mortgage terms, and the fees associated with that. And I know a lot of you renters out there, maybe you don't even realize that your on-time rent payments can actually boost your credit score. How do you do it? Well, you report your rent payments. There are services that allow you to report your rent payments to the credit bureaus. One of the good ways to do that is to consult a unicorn lender. Now, the specialized lenders, they'll actually guide you on the best strategies to ensure that whatever service you use for rent contribution, it will positively go onto your credit score. I know there's a whole bunch of apps out there, but before you jump into using an app, keep in mind, a lot of those apps, they're trying to sell you other services on the app. So that's why that unicorn team can help you, asking a pro to figure out exactly what the best reporting service is. The action step on this one. Well, this one, Now, you can do some of the stuff on your own, but I really recommend that you reach out to a unicorn lender to discuss your options for reporting the rent payments. Not to mention, when you talk with them, they're going to be able to give you a whole bunch of different credit building strategies that are tailored specifically, bespoke, if you will, custom for your situation. Tip number 3, automate your savings. Said it before, but let me reiterate why this tip matters. Saving for that down payment, dude, it can feel crazy overwhelming, especially when you're juggling all your other monthly expenses. Automating your savings, what that does is it ensures consistency. Not to mention it helps build some habits for you. That's always a great thing. And that consistency and those habits, that'll help you reach your goal without the constant manual effort. Baby steps, baby. How do you do it? All right. All you got to do to set up automatic transfers is arrange with your bank or your credit union or wherever your money goes to automatically transfer a simple fixed amount from your checking to your savings each month. And what the best thing to do with that is treat it like it's non-negotiable. Act like it's your damn rent. And the second tip for how to do it, this is a cool one. Use dedicated savings accounts. Don't put it in your regular old savings account. And the second how-to on this one is create a dedicated savings account. Think about opening, your own separate account specifically to fund your down payment, closing cost, savings fund. And that way you can avoid the temptation to dipping into it. You'll still have your other savings account, but now you've got one specifically for this goal. And I always like to tell people, give it a name that inspires you, like Life Control Savings Account or My Landlord Sucks Savings, the action step. This one's simple. Contact your bank, your credit union, wherever it is, and set up those automatic transfers. And of course, I know there are apps out there and other things that can help you automate and manage your savings effectively and efficiently. But if you've got your banking on your phone, just set it up. You shouldn't have to go in and push a button to do it. Just have it automatically happen. And tip number 4, understanding the tax benefits of home ownership and how it actually can increase your buying power before you even buy a home. So why does this one matter? Well, my favorite thing, math. If you're sitting there and you think you can't afford a new payment, well, how can you come to that conclusion without actually really comprehending and knowing all of the details on how these tax advantages of home ownership, how they could actually increase your monthly income? The way it does that is by lowering the amount of that acronym gang, SSDI and all those letters on your paycheck that rob all your paycheck from you before you actually get your money. Well, with the right plan and a real estate support team showing you how you can adjust and reduce the money that gets taken out of your paycheck, you can actually see before you're even ready to start paying that new payment, a new and improved amount of money that you're going to get every single month in your pocket. Okay, how do you do this? Well, the first thing is I definitely say consult with a tax professional. You can get insights into deductions and credits by looking online, but they're not tailored specifically for you. So if you've got a tax professional, talk to them. And if they don't understand or comprehend this, time for a new tax pro. As always, if you can, get yourself your real estate support team and cross-check with not just the tax professional, but have them talk to the lender that you're going to use as well. Because the lenders do this every damn day for first-time home buyers. So they have a better understanding of how your tax professional can make sure that they're getting you everything that you need to see how much more money you could get every single month. And of course, the second way how to do it, talk to a unicorn realtor who can talk to a unicorn lender for you. And also, if you don't have a trusted tax person, these guys will. And they'll help you really get your entire mind wrapped around the idea of how these tax benefits work and how that actually will increase your purchasing potential. And the action step for this one, schedule a meeting with a tax professional now, either the one you have or one referred to you by a unicorn realtor or a lender, and then explore all the ways that home ownership and the tax benefits that come with it will actually increase the amount of money that you're looking at the bottom line every single month. Tip number 5, explore assumable mortgages. Now, why does this one matter? Assumable mortgages mean that you can buy a home and possibly get a 2 to 3% interest rate. How the heck do you do that? Listen to episode 326, Unlocking 2 to 3% Interest Rates with Assumable Mortgages. What's the action step for this tip? Listen to episode 326, Unlocking 2 to 3% Interest Rates with Assumable Mortgages. And then if you got more questions, go to howtobuyahome.com and hit the Ask David button and ask me your question. And you can get details of what's possible in your neck of the woods, because assumable loans are different everywhere, and you have to make sure that your team knows how to do them. Okay, halfway through the 10 tips. Number 6, gang, put it on the fridge. Why? So you can look at your progress. Why? Well, saving and budgeting, I understand for everyone it's not exactly your favorite thing to do, but a picture, it's worth 1,642 words. Yeah, it's gone up with inflation. Putting a visual image of your progress, it's a great way to help you stay motivated. How do you do it? OG toddler style. I'm talking get construction paper, markers, or I don't care, get freaking crayons. Yeah, you're going to make a visual like a kindergartner. 3 big thermometers for your credit score, your debt, and your savings, and you're going to put it up on the fridge. You're going to have your current position colored in, and then when you make progress, grab a marker, grab a crayon, color it up. So your action step for this one, that's easy. Listen to episode 251, the last lease ever episode. That'll explain to you exactly how to get your starting numbers. And with that, you can build your 3 thermometers for the big 3. It's arts and crafts time. Tip number 7, balancing your debt repayment while saving at the same time. Why does this one matter? Unfortunately, for all the first-time homebuyers out there, I don't know when the next correction is going to come, but there's one factor that affects where home prices are going to be going for the next couple of years. Say it with me now, everybody. Low inventory. So that means that there's going to be bidding wars, and unfortunately, maybe not as fast as it did in 22 and 23, but prices are probably still going to increase for the next few years. So focusing on your debt repayment without doing any savings, well, that can delay your home ownership plans because the prices are rising, but you're not raising your actual savings account that's going to be what you use for your down payment and your closing costs. And the balancing act is very important because you may not need to reduce your debt all the way down before you can make a purchase. Okay, how do you do this one? Basically, what you need to do is think about this as a dual approach. So you're going to be allocating your funds every month that are going into your savings, but at the same time, you're going to be balancing that with reducing your debt, which is going to help all the other pieces of you buying a home. So you need to run these 2 things concurrently. The action step for this one, well, it's creating that parallel financial plan, 2 things at once. What you're doing is you're strategically balancing paying down your debt while you're building up your savings because you're trying to make sure that you've got the right debt to income ratio. That DTI, that's a key factor in your ability to get approved for a loan to buy a home. And homies, your DTI can be up to 50%. So there's a whole bunch more that goes into this, but the main thing that you need to understand with this action step when you're parallel doing it, you don't need to eliminate all your debt. You can find a ratio number that you're more comfortable with if 50% feels like too much for you, but for sure, don't wait to start on your savings until your debt is down to 0. The home prices aren't waiting for you. So the action step here is figure out what is the best way for you to do this at the same time, that parallel financial plan. If you want to do this right and discover all the math and all the formulas to create that plan for you and to actually find things that maybe you don't even know are possible for you because you could get approved for a home loan. Most people that actually come to How to Buy a Home, they get approved for a home loan carrying some debt. Yes, some of them $200,000, $300,000 in student loan debt. Yes, some of them carrying their ridiculous $600 a month car payment when they should actually trade it in and get a lower loan, but that's another story. So the action step, another part of this action step here, to get that parallel financial plan, get a unicorn team yesterday to help you start with the planning. Tip number 8. Consider mortgage interest rate buydowns. Why does that matter? Well, because interest rates suck right now. And sorry, gang, they're not going down anytime soon. So we need to think outside the box so you can create your rent replacement strategy. Okay, how do you do it? Well, the tip was consider mortgage rate buy downs. So how do you do that? Consider them? Maybe think about learning about them? Okay, the action step, 262. That's the episode where we talk about mortgage rate buy downs. So go back and listen to that one. Number 9, fix your partner's credit score. Now, this one is a biggie, and I actually have some action steps that you can do that where I don't just tell you, hey, go listen to another podcast. Why does it matter? I know some of you are like, dude, I am not about to get into my partner's business. Well, this is why this one matters. When you're buying a home with a partner, because maybe you need both of your income to get a higher loan approval, well, what that means is they're going to look at both your credit scores, and it's not an average of the two. The low credit score, that's the one that determines what kind of loan you can get. Yeah, the low credit score, not an average. I do give a little warning here. Tread lightly on this one, homies. Don't make your partner feel bad about it. Work together. Okay, how do you do it? First, you want to check both credit reports. Pull your credit reports from all 3 credit bureaus so you can make sure that you can spot any issues, because some appear on some and they don't appear on the other. I've been telling people for years, www.annualcreditreport.com, all one word. That's one of the best places to do it. Or I've recently, in the last year or two, discovered through the credit gurus that I talk to all over the country, there's another good one that isn't trying to scam you or sell you anything. It's called myfreescorenow.com. That's myfreescorenow, all one word.com. These two are the best and the most accurate. The other apps out there, like I said, they're trying to sell you stuff. And the scores that you get from your bank and your credit card, I think it's great that they're finally making sure everyone's actually paying attention to their credit scores. But in past episodes, I've explained to you, you have 28 different credit scores. So that one that you see that comes with your bank statement or your credit card statement, it can be off by, I've seen it off 50 to 75 points from the score, that when a mortgage pro looks at it, they go, oh, wait, this is the score. That one of the 28 that you have, that's the one that they're going to look at for your mortgage application. Okay, another how to do it here is work to make sure that your high impact fixes, that they're first. So if you've got credit card balances that are using, most of the credit card, 80, 90% usages, that's going to be a big one. You want to dispute any errors that you find on your credit score. That's huge because that takes time. And also, eventually, when you get to the point where the error is removed, that's an instant boost to your credit score. And one of the other things I tell everyone is set up an auto pay for whenever you're going to pay your credit card. Just have it directly taken out of your bank account. And look, I understand that can be scary if you're living paycheck to paycheck. So I've got this one for you. Just put a reminder on your phone. I wake up every morning and there's 4 or 5 reminders at the top of my day for stuff that needs to happen that day each month. Not my to-do list I wrote the night before, but just some things that I know, oh, today's the day I got to take care of that. Today's the day I got to take care of that. Use the reminders on your phone. It's not like you're not sitting there doom scrolling all day. Come on, let's be real. And of course, if you want more details on this, episode 304, all things credit score. And there's a ton of credit building tips in there beyond those as well. And if you really want to get deep in making sure that you're talking, that your credit score is being corrected and moving in the right direction for a home loan, not just trying to get like a big score, then that's where your communication with the unicorn lender is really great, because they can give you personal strategies and give you that real number that actually goes specifically with what the banks are looking at when they're going to loan you, $500,000 to buy a house. The action step for this one's on you, gang. You can do all this on your own. There's a million different things on the internet to talk to you about what to do for your credit. Unfortunately, a lot of them are scams. Credit and credit cleanup. A lot of these companies have figured out that so many people who are desperate for help, they're going to give a little bit of money to try to get that fixed. And that sucks. So because they go after the people who are desperate and they try to get as many of them as they can. And then unfortunately, you don't get what you need. So your action step is, you can do this on your own, or you can ask a team to help you. And the earlier that you ask a team, the better. You can get the insider tips. Why? Well, because improving a credit score takes time. And any good real estate support team, they're going to give you custom action steps way early so that you can take action right now, which is when you should. I don't care if you're not going to buy for 3 years. Take action now. And if the team doesn't want to help you with that, they're probably not the team for you. And tip number 10, navigating bidding wars strategically. Well, why does this tip matter in 2025? Well, because in competitive markets, bidding wars are common, and gang, that's where we are, and that's where we're going to stay. Really, no matter what happens in the market, it doesn't matter if, we just go up slowly in the prices, or who knows, if we get a big recession and prices go down, you're thinking, hey, well, if prices go down, then it's not going to be bidding. Oh, actually, it'll be even bigger bidding wars. Because right now in 2025, I can give you this data. There are millions of first-time home buyers waiting on the sidelines. High interest rates push everybody back in October of 2023. At one point in January of 2024, 71% of people that were thinking about buying a home said that they were going to wait till rates dropped. And rates haven't dropped much more. So there are millions of people sitting on the sidelines waiting to get in the game. Therefore, you can expect competition. All right, how do you do it? How do you navigate bidding wars strategically? Know your numbers. That's the big one. You have to know your numbers first before you can implement any of the tips and tricks and tactics, because you need to know where you've got a little extra room, and you only know that when you know your numbers inside and out. Another way on how to, everything you need to know is episode 175, 76, and 77. I've been talking about bidding wars since the podcast started back in 2019. And the tips in 175, 76, and 177, they work. In fact, we have several homie testimonials in the interviews where they used and talked about some of the tips and tactics within those episodes. Okay, now you notice I put listen to that in the how-to. It feels like that should be an action step, but stay with me. Here's the action steps you can take today. Number 1, mentally prepare for bidding wars. Number 2, talk with your partner. Write down what you think you would do when you get into a bidding war where you're putting an offer on a home. And write them down separately. And I'm serious, write them down on a piece of paper. I mean that literally, used correctly. Write it down separately. To me, this is where the term on the same page comes from. I know it's not really, it's more about when you're reading something and you're sitting there looking at it and you realize that you're both reading the same text and you're on the same page. But this is my on the same page. Number 3, be absolutely 100% ready not to listen to anybody else's opinion about this. Everyone's going to tell you how much you should or you shouldn't bid. Don't listen to them. Period. The end. Curtain. The action step is listen to the episodes, mentally prepare for it, talk with your partner, and then re-listen to the episodes. Become a bidding war pro. If you cannot confidently explain to your belligerent uncle that winning a bidding war to create your own rent replacement strategy is not reckless and it's not overpaying, then you need to be more confident in the material. So listen to those episodes, get all the tips, believe in the numbers and understand it, and become your own pro. And here's your test for yourself to make sure that you've got it, to make sure you're totally dialed and locked in. Give your uncle another couple scotches and then see if you can confidently defend yourself to him. Okay, that's the 10 tips and their action steps. And you know what? I'm going to give you a little bonus action step right here. Recently, I got a little sneaky. I did some reconnaissance on behalf of all the homies out there. See, there are so many corporations out there that are trying to woo renters. They're trying to bring you in and then fleece you of all your money, when you're just trying to figure out how the hell to do the home buying process. So I see this all the time. I see new scams. I see new ways that people are trying to hoodwink you and bamboozle you and every other old cringy word I can think of. But here's the thing with all those people trying to scam you and take your money. They always follow the trends. Now, if you're a nerd like me, these trends are easy to spot. So let me break this down for you. There are a ton of trends that happen with consumers and the way that they get quote unquote savings. There are air quotes there, savings. It's been going on for a long time. Perks and benefits and all those things, they follow trends. Think back. If you're old enough, maybe you know this. Now, I'm old enough. I follow all this stuff. Started back in the 80s, really significantly. And it was a crappy little credit card called Diners Club. And that started everybody with perks and rewards programs. And then in the 90s, maybe you're old enough to remember, you used to just go to the grocery store and you just paid whatever was there. But in the 90s, club cards started, which is hysterical because all they do is raise the price and then reduce it with your club discount. But anyway, that was that trend that I followed and watched back then. And then gas stations started doing it. And then the credit card companies in like the early 2020s, started kind of pre-COVID, they got crazy with travel perks. And by 2022, 63% of frequent flyer miles that were earned from the airlines, they came from credit card reward points. Because the credit card companies, what they were doing, they were trying to capitalize on the trend that the millennials were talking about. They're nuts and excited for traveling. Continuing to follow these trends, I'm noticing something different that's been going on for the past 3, 4, 5 years. Cashback. That's the new thing, right? Think about it. I mean, maybe you haven't even noticed it because maybe you weren't paying attention 5 years ago. But if you're old like me, cashback, it's the new buzzword to entice you into whatever it is they're selling. Mostly, credit cards or some sort of, potential savings account or something like that. But what they do is they're going to give you money back. I can't believe I just explained cash back to you. And of course, if you look at them deeply, you can see that most of them are usually at a higher interest rate, kind of the same way that the grocery store did with their prices. Well, now, homies, the online real estate industry, they've taken notice of the new trend. And there are several online companies that they claim to not just be your best resource for you renters out there to get your financial planning and education. They say, hey, this is what we do. But how they get you in? Cash back. They're going to give you cash back just for paying your rent. Sounds great, right? You just sign up with them. You don't pay them anything. And they monitor your rent payments and they'll give you like up to 5% cash back that you can eventually use on your home purchase. All right, I'm no dummy, so I went undercover to see how the big cashback scams that are out there, how they really worked for you renters. The company I did this both ways. I did it as a consumer, had the Zoom call and went through the whole talk with the guy. And then I did it as a real estate agent and I had the Zoom call and talked through the whole thing with them to see what it was going to take for me to be one of the real estate agents that they recommended to people. The name of the company is Gravy, and they were recently acquired by the OG real estate cashback company, and they are named Clever. And the market behind it is really simple. You already pay your rent, so why not use their user-friendly app? And that's what Gravy is. It's this app to help you get cashback rewards that you can use when you're buying a home. It's extra for you. Get it? The gravy on top of all your hard work. Homies, beware. Yes, they're going to collect 5%, but they don't collect anything. They just put it in the app and calculate it up for you. 5% out of every rent payment that you make. They supposedly have been, quote unquote, saving for you in a personal account that they show you on their app. And what they do then is they match you to incompetent realtors and lenders who pay to get recommended to you. And Gravy doesn't give the realtor and the lender that money in your account, the realtor and the lender agree to pay to be on the app, to be the person that you get recommended to. And then the realtor and the lender agree that they're going to reduce their fees by whatever you've saved. And of course, Gravy likes to tell everyone that they do this all for free. But how do they make their money? By charging the realtors and the lenders to be recommended to you. All of that so you can get this amazing cashback program. But in order to get that perk, in order to get that cash back, you have to use their people. And just like Zillow and Realtor.com and all the other online real estate websites, these so-called professionals that they connect you to, they are not vetted in any way, shape, or form. They are just a paycheck to that online company who their job is to get everyone's attention. So the realtor and lender that you're connected with, in order to get your cash back, they're not first-time homebuyer experts. And they're certainly not handpicked as the best advocate for first-time homebuyers. Those realtors and those lenders, they pay to have this company capture you and then connect the two of you. They pay for the opportunity to give you your cash back. And that cash back that you get from them, it's nothing. Because when all's said and done, with most of these people out there, it's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars more than the savings that you get with their super convenient cashback program that you can do with a monthly click on their app. So the bonus action step for this one, don't be suckered into anyone offering you free money when you're dealing with trying to find people to help you with the biggest financial transaction of your life. Bam, baby. There it is. 10 action steps plus a bonus warning. Do you feel empowered? Do you feel like you can actually do something to improve your chances of getting out of the rent rut and eventually being able to buy a home? Are you not entertained? Yeah, I just quoted Gladiator, Russell Crowe. I think that movie's from like early 2000s, if not 99 or 2000, something like that. Okay, let me wrap up this action-packed episode with a story. I recently read an article on the master glass blowers from Murano, Italy. I saw something that said Murano, Italy, and I had to click on it because my musical theater nerddom began in the 80s. And one of my favorite musicals that came out back in the 80s was called Chess. And it's set in Murano, Italy. And suddenly I'm nerding out reading this, and bam, this correlation between the masters and the unicorns, the masters of real estate, it just kind of smacked me in the face. See, in Murano, the artists, these glass blowers, these masters, they just don't wake up one day and start making gorgeous chandeliers and crazy expensive glass sculptures because these are the best in the world. They're expensive. No, here's how it works. To become a master glass blower in Murano, you start as an apprentice in your teens, and then you train for 15 years just to be able to work the furnace. You heard that right. 15 years to man the furnace. And even after all of that, only a few of those people that have been working for 15 years are ever considered to move up the ranks and become masters. So it sounds insane, right? But it's because the glass blowing that they do is an art. It takes precision, expertise, and that kind of instinct that you just can't fake. The glass, it's molten when they're working with it. 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit of liquid fire. And, you know, when you're working something like that, one wrong move, one mistimed breath when they're blowing, and boom, your piece is ruined. It's done. And you just have to put it all back in and start over. So how did that bring me to real estate and the unicorns? Well, buying a home, it's the same concept. One wrong move, one missed decision, and suddenly, I don't know, maybe you're locked into a mortgage that's too high, or you're paying thousands more than you should have in your closing costs, or you're getting completely screwed on your inspection and you end up buying a lemon. Or worse, maybe you just get so freaked out by the whole process that you give up altogether and you keep renting and you watch home prices skyrocket, and then you just feel like it's always out of your reach. Or even worse than that, you go to someone and you get told no. And because that person wasn't a master. They weren't able to present to you all of the options that you actually have. And so then you're got that same result, getting stuck in the rent rut because you got told no by some novice who isn't trained well enough. And now you're watching prices skyrocket, when all the while talking to a master, they could have shown you a way to create the work of art that you want. 15 years, man, that is an insane amount of training. I get it, but that's what it takes to be a Murano master. The sad thing is, people assume that in the real estate world that a license means something. Maybe it's not a master like those craftsmen, but they at least think that you get some training to get an official real estate license. Here's the sad truth. In California, to become a licensed cosmetologist or a barber, it takes 3,000 hours, included many, many hours in supervised apprentice work under the tutelage of a master. You want to know what it takes to get a real estate license in California? They say it's 120 hours, but like most of it's open book. And if you got, I'm not kidding, half a brain, you can complete it in 20 hours. And then all you have to do is go take the test and you get a license. And then you go to a broker, some big real estate company, and they go, oh, cool, you have a license. Go out and find someone to get your first deal and start making us money. I wish I was kidding, gang, but I'm not. The average real estate agent, they don't train for 15 years. Hell, they don't train for 15 days. Before they're, posting on Instagram and calling themselves a first-time homebuyer expert. So this article just once again reiterated to me exactly why all you homies out there need a master, not just some random agent who passed a test. The unicorns, they're masters at helping first-time homebuyers navigate all the complexities of what is becoming an increasingly unaffordable market. These unicorns, they're unicorns for a reason. They have years of experience. They understand how to build your roadmap and how to create the most number of options for you. And they know how to play the game so you don't get burned. And buying glass, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of the glass market and when things are hot and they sell really high and when they sell low, but I do know housing. And in this market, it's tough right now. 2025, it's competitive. And if you're going in this alone, that's inconceivable to me. But if you're going into this with the wrong agent, someone who's pretending to be a master, guess what? You're the glass and you're about to get shattered. So I guess the moral of that story is find someone who's a master. They know when to push, when to hold back, when to make the right moves so you don't end up house poor and you don't end up completely priced out of the game. It's a balancing act. And I understand the home buying process, it can feel almost impossible right now. High prices, high rates, the media screaming about doom and gloom. But here's what they're not going to tell you in the media. You can still win in this market if you have a master working with you. So truly, you can go back and listen to all 325 episodes here because you're like, I'm going to research the hell out of this, Sidoni, because you know what? I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to dig deep. I get it. Hear me now. Please, homies. The biggest thing you can do is research when you're interviewing the team that you're going to hire to go on this journey with you. Yeah, gang, leave it to me to read a story about these beautiful artists and suddenly I'm comparing it to getting a real estate team. Okay, let me bring it back to action steps. Here's another few action steps for you to do. Action step number 1. Hey, go back and listen to the podcast library for titles of things that you just don't understand and you want to get more information on. Another action step, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And another action step, write a review if you can. The more reviews that we get, the more people find it and the bigger this revolution goes. So another action step, keep going, get your knowledge. And I guess the last action step would be go to howtobuyahome.com and ask for your unicorn. You homies deserve a master and you haven't been given one by the real estate industry. You shouldn't be going through this gigantic transaction with an amateur. I believe that learning everything you want to learn is a crucial part of feeling confident in your home buying process. But one of the things I know is the people that you bring with you on that journey, they will exponentially increase your confidence. Why? Well, because they know what I do. They've seen it a million times. You can do this.
Looking for more DIY education or your own personal step-by-step guidance through the home buying journey? Since 2019, How to Buy a Home has been the #1 resource for first-time home buyers. So visit howtobuyaHome.com to get started.